On his first day back in office, President Donald Trump made a powerful statement by signing dozens of executive orders aimed at reversing President Biden's key policies and reasserting his own agenda. With a mix of symbolic and substantive measures, Trump's actions signal a sharp departure from the previous administration's direction on issues ranging from immigration and climate change to federal workforce and trade. Let's take a look at some of the key decisions Trump took on January 20th. One of his first actions was to issue pardons for some 1,500 defendants who participated in the siege of the US Capitol 4 years ago, wiping away scores of convictions for people who helped delay the certification of the 2020 elections won by President Biden and challenged the peaceful transfer of power. By another order, Trump killed some 78 Biden-era executive actions, orders, and presidential memoranda. They include a wide variety of actions related to racial equality, climate, migration, and gender policy, the federal workforce, and Biden's recent move to take Cuba off the list of state sponsors of terrorism. One of the favorite issues for Trump over the past several years has been immigration. His latest executive actions on immigration reflect a return to his signature hardline stance. Among the most controversial measures was his move to bar asylum claims for individuals newly arriving at the southern border. He also suspended the refugee admissions program and declared a national emergency at the Mexico border to restart construction of his favorite border wall. Additionally, Trump reignited efforts to end birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants, a move which is guaranteed to face legal challenges as it clearly goes against the 14th Amendment. Another key decision was to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord. Yesterday, Trump signed an order titled Putting America First in International Environmental Agreements, which included withdrawing from the accord. Trump previously also withdrew from the Paris Accords during his first term, but Biden rejoined the agreement in 2021. By quitting the forum once again, Trump has effectively removed the United States from the global effort to combat climate change. Trump also declared a national energy emergency to expedite fossil fuel projects and rolled back regulations on vehicle emissions and energy efficiency standards for appliances. Offshore wind farm leasing was halted, while the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge was reopened to oil drilling. Another high-profile withdrawal which happened yesterday was from the World Health Organization. This marks the second time Trump has ordered the US be pulled out of the WHO. Trump was critical of how the international body handled the COVID-19 pandemic and began the process of pulling out from the Geneva-based institution during the pandemic. President Biden later reversed that decision. The latest executive order said the US was withdrawing from WHO due to the organization's mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic that arose out of China and other global health crisis, its failure to adopt urgently needed reforms, and its inability to demonstrate independence from the inappropriate political influence of WHO member states. Trump's order also said that the withdrawal was the result of unfairly onerous payments the US made to the WHO. Seen against the backdrop of Trump's decision to push for vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as his health secretary, Trump could put the American public health sector in peril by some of his whimsical moves. Trump also terminated the DEI, the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion programs across federal agencies and limited gender recognition to male and female only. Officially, the US will no longer have transgenders. Protections for transgender individuals in federal prisons were also removed by Trump, sparking criticism from civil rights groups across the country. Trump has also set his sights on having more control over the federal workforce. By another order, he reinstated a hiring freeze for federal workers with exceptions only for positions in immigration, enforcement, national security, and public safety. He also revived Schedule F, a controversial category of federal employees who lack job protections, a move designed to give political appointees greater control over the federal workforce. In a bid to restore pre-pandemic norms, Trump ordered federal employees to return to the office full-time and stopped all new federal regulations until they could be reviewed by his administration. On trade and tariffs, Trump directed federal agencies to investigate trade practices and currency manipulation by countries such as China, Canada, and Mexico. He also initiated a review of the American industrial base to determine if additional tariffs on imports are needed. A new proposal to establish an external revenue service for collecting tariffs and duties was introduced, reflecting Trump's focus on completely reshaping American trade policy. Trump also signed an order reinstating the federal death penalty, instructing the Attorney General to pursue the death penalty for all crimes of a severity demanding its use. In particular, it calls for death penalty to be sought in all cases involving the murder of a law enforcement officer and all capital crimes committed by immigrants without legal status. Finally, revisiting a contentious issue from his previous administration, Trump ordered federal agencies to review national security risks posed by TikTok. However, enforcement of the app's ban was paused for 75 days to allow time for further evaluation on this issue. Some of the new executive orders made by Trump yesterday are almost certain to be challenged in court, while some others will be largely symbolic. But some will work. Therefore, taken together, those executive orders reflect Trump's firm intent to turn sharply away from the direction of the Biden administration and to fulfill his campaign promise to stop what he and his aides believe to be a deep state effort to block his MAGA agenda.